today's video, I'm going to be helping you guys out by giving you all my tips I have to convince your parents to allow you to get the piercing you've been wanting. Before this video gets started, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below because you don't want to miss any content and you want to be here all the time. All these tips have been approved by my dad. He says if I were to use these on him, he said he would most likely say yes if I was trying to convince him to get a piercing. And these are the ones I used to convince him to allow me to get my nose pierced. Hopefully they all work for you guys. Let's jump right into this video. So if you're wondering at all why I'm looking down, it's because I have my notebook because I write all my things I want to cover. So tip number one is to prepare all your information before you actually ask your parents. What I mean by this is to figure out what kind of piercing you want, all the risks that come with it, what you're gonna need to do to take care of it after, and where you're gonna get it pierced. I recommend looking for a place that's 5 stars or 4.5 stars because you want to make sure you're going somewhere that's clean, somewhere that they actually do it well and are not gonna mess up what you want, kind of thing. So definitely look somewhere that is really good. I probably could have been more prepared with information when I got my nose pierced because I did not know what could happen afterwards. If you're wanting to get a nose pierced, once this video is over, make sure you go and you check out my nose piercing advice video. I think it'll come up this corner. I'm actually not sure which corner it's gonna come up in. It'll come up in one of these corners. Make sure you go watch that once this video is over. You guys can be more prepared than I was before you get your nose pierced. Tip number 2 is to write a letter or make a presentation. This kind of goes with tip number 1 because you can put, for a presentation, you can take all the information you learned, everything like that, to put on the slide so your parents can see that you've done the research and you can show them I want this piercing at this place, this is what could happen, this is what I need to do to take care of it, kind of stuff like that, so they can see that you're responsible and you took time out of your day to actually research, and this will show them that you're responsible. Responsibility is key when it comes to convincing your parents, because if you can show them that you're responsible, you're mature, then that'll really help them say yes. Tip number 3 is to help out around the house. Now, I know this probably sounds like you're just trying to bribe your parents, but it could really help if you do the dishes, like I said before, responsibility, and then they'll see, wow, she can really help out around the house. I'm sure she can take care of a tiny piercing, and it really helps boost the responsibility level. And if you do it a couple weeks before you actually ask, you'll get on their good side, so it'll help say yes. So I guess it's kind of like bribing your parents, but Tip number 4 is to save up your money to pay for it yourself. This can oh my god, I keep coming back to responsibility because that's really key when you're trying to convince your parents to let you do something. If you can show them that you can save up money, I saved up $100 from babysitting and that a piercing cost me $50, I'll have $50 left, so you'll still have money left over, and they can see that you've thought about this, you've saved up the money to actually pay for the piercing, and then they'll see oh, she's not gonna ask to get a piercing, they'll be yo, can you give me the money, kind of thing. Tip number 5 is to wait for the right time to ask. And by this, I mean, don't ask them when they're all in a bad mood, because they're just gonna shut down your idea right there. And all the research, everything you've worked so hard to convince them, is just gonna go down the drain. If you wait until they're in a better mood and a happy mood, they're more likely to be open to a discussion, to talk about it, or to just have a conversation about it so they can get all the details before they shut down your idea. So do not ask them when they're in the bad mood. Tip number 6, this one, I cannot stress this enough. Avoid crying and whining. There is nothing that parents hate more than when they say no to something and you're immediately why did you say no? They don't like that. They do not like that. They want to know that you're mature and that you can take your ideas getting shut down, and that you can be persistent and keep trying to get them to say yes, kind of thing. You don't want to be why, and then they'll be like, wow, she really cannot do this, she's not ready for a piercing kind of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really important to not cry and whine. Tip number 7. This is something that my dad does not like when I say is do not say all my friends have it, because anytime I say that to my dad, he's like, if all your friends jump off a bridge, would you? And like, obviously you're like, why? That's not even the same thing. But I've come to the realization, like, if you want to get something, you want to get a piercing, like this could be used for anything. It should be because you want it, not because you're trying to fit in, not because all your friends have it, not because you're trying to be cool. It should be because you genuinely want that, and it shouldn't be for any other reason except that you want it. And that is something really important when you're talking. That's not necessarily for all parents. Some parents may be like, oh, all your friends have it, okay. And our final tip is to keep reminding them throughout the weeks. And by this, I don't mean be annoying and be like, have you made a decision? Have you made a decision? Have you made a decision kind of thing? Be like, is there anything I can do to help with your decision? Do you have any more questions about this piercing? Is there anything that's making you want to say no? Is there anything I can make you feel better about kind of thing? And they'll see like, oh, she actually like wants me to say yes, and she wants to help me come to that decision. She or he, I'm sorry, I keep saying she because I'm just referring to myself basically. And if you keep kind of reminding them in a non-annoying way, in a nice way, that could help them say yes. Okay guys, that is all the tips I have for you. Hopefully this will help you guys. If you're gonna use any of these tips, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Yeah, you wanna stay up to date on everything I'm posting. If you are planning on getting a nose piercing, like I said before, go watch my other video. I will put it again in one of these corners. It's one of those corners. It'll be there. You guys can go watch that. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all on Tuesday. Peace.